So there's a bunch of sayings and expressions from the Bible that I found. Uh, I found this site that has like a ton of them. I'll put that in the comments. I'll put a link to that. It's got a lot that are not really in use, uh, but it has some that are very much in use. And there are some in there that I thought of that I kind of wanted to add, so I was going to talk about those. Actually, I don't know. It might mention this one. This one might not be for me. Uh, but take up the mantle. That one blew my mind. That's a reference to Elijah and Elisha, the prophets. Uh, this is the only one that I've pulled up here, but it's uh, Elijah gets whisked away in a chariot, and Elisha takes the mantle, and it kind of symbolizes him taking on the role of Elijah. And before Elijah is taken away, Elisha asks for a double portion of his spirit, and so that's kind of like when we say that someone takes up the mantle of something, that usually has kind of a positive connotation with it, like they're doing a good job. And that's why, because Elisha got a double portion of his spirit. Um, but yeah, that's like a super deep reference that I didn't know was a reference to the Bible, which is really cool. Um, Another one, I don't think these were in the site that I mentioned, but count the cost. Dig deep. Dig deep is crazy. Um, like that one's like a reference to the man who built his house on the rock versus on the sand. And rise and shine is also crazy because I'm sure most people use a lot of these things without even give up is even crazier. I mean, so many people probably use these and have no idea that it's coming from the Bible, but I think give up was one of the ones that wasn't mentioned in the website. That I think should definitely be added because literally the first instance of anyone being said that they gave up something was Jesus giving up the ghost. That's how it's phrased. He gave up the ghost. I have these kind of ordered in order of like how cool I find them or whatever. Someone's calling. Oh yeah, old wives' tale. But someone's calling being like their profession or vocation or whatever. Put the words in her mouth. That's like a direct quote basically, which is crazy. See eye to eye. Or on my side. It's another. Yeah, by the skin of my teeth comes from Job. Flesh and blood is referenced a lot, and you might think that that's just like a that could have arisen naturally and not come from the Bible, but like why use like if you're saying that someone's like your kin or related to you, it might seem natural to say that they're your flesh and blood, but like why flesh and blood? Why those two? Like why not flesh and bone? Why not bone and blood? Why so why that exact thing? The reason why it's that exact thing is because it's from the Bible. Sowing and reaping. Forgot to include a reference for this, but you can find that one. It's mentioned a lot. And, Sermon on the Mount. This one also has a really deep backstory too, with like Daniel. And these two appear in like Shakespeare and just kind of Old English. This one is a pretty direct translation of the Greek, I think, supposedly. So this one actually likely did originate with the Bible and not with Shakespeare. Yeah, the blink of an eye, we'll all be transformed. And this one also has like deep context. That's when we get transformed into Christ's image. Yeah, there's a bunch that are kind of obvious, and if you use these all the time without knowing that they're from the Bible, shame on you to an extent because because it's like it's pretty direct references here. my word isn't a reference, if that's just like a substitution of, because the word was with God, the word was God, beginning of Book of John. This one's really interesting, and it's not phrased exactly like this in Ecclesiastes, but it's interesting. Oh yeah, this one we're taught in school that it's from the Code of Hammurabi. I don't think the Code of Hammurabi is the basis for uh, Western ethics. Bottomless pit's pretty debatable. It's in Revelation. Oh yeah, belly of the beast. It's said that it's the belly of the fish, but belly of the beast probably derives from belly of the fish. Oh yeah, setting something in stone was a pretty common practice, so it might not have been from the Bible, but it kind of is. A stone's throw. That kind of saying might just arise naturally, but it also could just be from the Bible. And there are some things that I wonder if Christians, if non-Christians even use, like if you say like in conversation, if you say oh, so and so, you're finally here, and they say, oh yeah, in the flesh. Does that even happen? I feel like Christians would say that, but not. Or like fall from grace. Do non-Christians say that? Or like there's nothing new under the sun. Do non-Christians say that? I don't know. But there's some that I know that non-Christians say, like count the cost or dig deep or rise and shine. That was crazy. Uh, but yeah, there's a lot more like that. These are just kind of my favorites. And yeah, that's that.